So Taiwan's nuclear program started in the 70s. What was the impetus for the country to start its program at that time?
Okay, Taiwan's nuclear power program started in the 70s as a part of the so-called 10 Great Construction Projects, the so-called oil crisis, and made the government realize that need nuclear power. And so the first nuclear power plant started construction in about 1972 timeframe. And then the second nuclear power plant followed it shortly in a few years. And then the third nuclear power plant also followed that in a few years. So from December of 1978 to May of 1985, okay, in those few years, all 6 units of Taiwan nuclear plants went on commercial operation. At that time, it consisted of more than 50% of the total electricity generated in Taiwan. Today, it consists of about 10% of the total electricity generated in Taiwan.
Taiwan is looking to go nuclear free in just a few years. What's changed between the early 70s and now for the government to make that decision?
It's a DPP government decision. And the DPP government was saying that we can go nuclear free and replace it, okay, especially with renewable energy, such as wind power and then solar power. And it used the example of Germany. Germany is that first real major economy or major country, okay, that is going nuclear free. But it should be noted that Germany is pretty much in the middle of Europe, so it can trade, okay, electricity across its borders very freely. Taiwan is an island, okay, and it has no connection to any other grid, the electricity grid. So therefore, you cannot get power from anywhere. So all power in Taiwan obviously is generated by itself, and also from all the energy that's imported, okay, and all the fuel that's imported.
Energy prices are rising around the world. Japan has decided to restart its nuclear program. So, in your opinion, is now the right time for Taiwan to continue pursuing this nuclear free policy?
Japan has restarted, if I'm correct, about 13 nuclear units, and which is currently generating approximately 4 times more nuclear power than Taiwan. And they have another 14 or 13 nuclear units being waiting for government approval to restart. The Germany, okay, is supposed to shut down all its nuclear units by end of this year, to 2022. However, because of the current energy situation in Germany, they have delayed shutdown of last 2 units. So that clearly indicates that the energy security and stability is a very important factor.
You said that about 10% of Taiwan's current energy is produced by nuclear power. If Taiwan does go nuclear free in just a year and a half, 2 years, what can replace it during that time frame?
The only way to replace it is to build more natural gas plants or more coal plants. Obviously, the coal plants are not desirable, okay, because of the pollution. And we all know that obviously, when there's no sun, there's no solar power. When there's no wind, there's no wind power. So solar and wind is not a stable source of electricity supply. So on the contrary, nuclear power plants has been a workhorse for Taiwan for the last 40 years or so. And if you are replacing a stable supply of electricity, then you must replace it with the same stable supply of electricity.